Okay, sorry about that. Took a little longer to get started than expected. But hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope everybody's doing well. I hope your week has been great so far. I hope your weekend has been swell. Welcome to another episode of Cocktails and Curiosities. This is officially episode 2. Um those of you who are new to either of my channels, because this will be streamed both to Twitch and to YouTube. This is Cocktails and Curiosities. This is a podcast that me and my roommate Knox has started. It is a general podcast about things we find interesting and, decide to talk about. And we thought it'd be a cool idea to, start up a discussion and to get a chance to chat with other people and get a chance to kind of share our thoughts, our ideas, and whatever else that happens come across our mind. We had a bit of a rocky start today because we were trying to figure out what we wanted to talk about today, and we decided to settle on, funny enough, Metal Gear Solid. Just like, why not? So yeah, that's kind of what we decided to do. We decided to be the weird bunch. I'm gonna get Knox here in just a minute. Also, I have kind of decided that we're gonna shrink myself down a little bit, kind of move me off to the side, and I'm gonna actually get Discord up in windowed mode and get that ball. If I can get Discord to open. There it is. There we are. He had to go to the bathroom for a minute, so get to sit here and talk a little bit about what's going on today. For the most part, we're basically gonna be talking about how we grew up with Metal Gear Solid as a video game. Is one of the things we actually grew up with. It wasn't just something we kind of picked up later on in our lives. We grew up with that shit. And how it kind of affected our outlook. Just gaming in general. How do I put it? It gave us an outlook that would kind of shape how we view gaming, even today. What we got into, how we got into it, what it kind of molded our ideas and views and kind of gave us, kind of a starting point. Because that's really where my gaming started up, was Metal Gear Solid. I'll be upfront about this into Windows. That would be fantastic. I don't know if I can do Windows for Discord people, or I have a camera. So I guess that idea has been scratched. Yeah, I don't know what we're gonna do for that. I'm gonna find a means of getting either another avatar, or just something to kind of give an indication on who's really talking. I know our voices are kind of distinct, but I would like to find a way to get that to be a little bit more cleaner looking than just this. I mean, I can do this. I mean, it's not unheard of for a for a podcast to do shit like this, but it'd be nicer to like have a little bit more. You know what I mean? Here, I'm gonna actually grab something real quick. I'm gonna grab that, bring it over here. Oh, oh. Not that one. Come on. Oh, there we go. That's what I had to do. Okay. Cast. Okay, and eventually I'm gonna have somebody come in and kind of make our make these screens a little bit more professional look. It's not just like, oh, I got this and you know what I mean? But yeah, for the most part, it's gonna be Metal Gear, how we grew up with it, how it kind of shaped our lives, and how it affected our outlook on gaming for the most part. That's kind of today's and we will get the mans in here. Hello.
Hello. Yes, I live.
I'm gonna like crank up your volume by OBS quite a bit. Go ahead and give me an audio test real quick.
Okay, go ahead and adjust whatever you need to adjust.
Okay, crank yourself a little higher. Just so you're not like super quiet this time around.
Hold on a second. Trying to remember what is what. I don't think I can crank it any higher.
I think that's perfect.
Let me listen to it on the stream real quick.
Yeah, listen to it on the stream. See how it sounds to you. Because I can adjust the sliders through OBS up here if I need to crank some stuff.
It's so hard to hear myself when you're talking. Just give me a sec. Hold on. Yeah, okay, that sounds good.
Yeah, you sound good? That works.
Actually, I'm a little loud.
I can crank it down a little bit. You're peaking on my end for OBS, so let me turn that down.
Yeah. Now you're the quiet one. Yeah, hold it.
We good?
We'll see. I'm waiting for the back play. It's a good, 30 seconds.
It's fair.
Yeah, I'm still a little loud, but it's not bad. I can actually adjust it here real quick. It's not that much.
Okay.
That should be good.
All right.
I'll just keep this in the background a little quieter.
I kind of have given everybody kind of a synopsis of what today's all about and what we'll be discussing.
Yeah.
So it's basically I told him like, hey, we grew up with Metal Gear Solid, and we kind of both decided to talk about today how it's kind of shaped our views on gaming and how it kind of affected us in our lives and the kind of nonsense that comes out of our head because of it.
Well, it's just for me the reason I suggested it because I was the one to suggest talking about Metal Gear is because I've been playing Phantom Pain recently. I've just been obsessed with it. Um, and I just recently watched watched a video on the storyline behind it and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to play it, I would definitely recommend not listening to this because we're gonna talk about
It's
a bunch of
gonna
spoilers.
be a lot of spoilers.
Yeah, this is gonna be a very spoiler heavy episode for Metal Gear. So if you haven't completed the Phantom Pain stuff, like we're gonna give out one of the like literally the big plot twist in Phantom Pain at least, if not
Yes.
some of the other
So
ones.
this is kind of your like point of no return. Like
Yeah,
after about this point, you've been warned. If you haven't completed Metal Gear Solid: The Phantom Pain, you should probably click off now. There you go. There's your TLDR/warning.
here I'm gonna give all the major spoilers in 10 seconds. You have 10 seconds to click off this video. I'm gonna list them all out that I remember. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You have been warned. Okay, so Phantom Pain, you don't play as Snake, you play as a Venom Snake, which is actually the medic that was in the helicopter with Snake, and Snake basically fakes his own death and uses you to replace him. You're not actually playing as the real Snake. You're just a brainwashed fake. In let's see, Snake Eater, I think the only like big plot twists is that Revolver Ocelot is Adam, who you're supposed to meet, and he's actually a traitor for the organization for both. He's like a triple, like quadruple traitor. He like betrays everyone all the time. That's just kind of what he does. Is his thing.
That's essentially his character plot. He's the ultimate traitor.
Yeah, and then until actually no, once he joins the very first Mother base, he's like fully committed to Big Boss. Like everything he does is for Big Boss, but he betrays. He pretends to betray both sides continuously, but really in the entire time he's actually working for Big Boss and trying to achieve that goal. Like the very end. Here, okay, spoiler for number 4. Revolver Ocelot isn't his the liquid snake arm on him isn't actually corrupting his mind. It's also a spoiler for 2. Isn't actually corrupting his mind. He's just pretending that so that he can gain the trust of his associates so he can destroy the war economy. And the entire time he was working along, he was on your side but pretending to be your enemy. Let's see. In 3, I think there was one other one. Eva is a Chinese spy and also the mother of Liquid and Solid Snake, which are also different people.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's one more. Oh, you kill Big Boss, and not Big Boss. You kill the boss in the end, which is the female boss. So, something I should clarify. So there's like 7 snakes. There's not actually, but there's a bunch of people that all have the same title. So there's the boss, which is a female CIA operative.
Also known as the mother of the special forces.
Yep, and she is also the inventor along with the big boss Snake, who is just called, his code name is just Snake or Naked Snake. They invented CQC in this timeline. There is then the big boss. So there's the boss, and then there's Big Boss. Big Boss is Snake that was trained by the boss, and then kills her. He's only referred to as just Big Boss. However, there's another character that's also referred to as Big Boss. However, he's a fake, and that's Venom Snake. Venom Snake is not actually any of the snakes. He is a brainwashed medic who has been essentially used to replace the actual Snake while he faked his own death to do other things.
Yeah, he's essentially a body double.
And then there is Solidius, Liquid, and Solid Snake, which are all clones of the original Big Boss, Naked Snake. And those are all clones that also have rapid aging genes in them, so that they're Eva's children using Snake's genetics, and they like the latter half. Those
Yeah.
I think that's it. Other than Solidius, which Solidius is just a weird dude.
So that's
Also,
just weird.
Solidius's birthday was the 30th, 3 days ago. So, or the voice actor, the voice actor who played him, who's currently deceased. But he would be 67 this year if he was still alive. So yeah, and then let's see. I'm gonna go off of Then there's Sons of Liberty. All the spoilers for that. Which is number 2. I think. Let's see. There really isn't many other than Fortune's power is actually an electromagnetic field generator that's on her hip, and it has nothing to do with any actual power. She's not magic or anything. She's just been convinced she is.
Yep.
Raiden is in a simulation. Wasn't that a thing? Wasn't the whole thing actually a simulation with Raiden?
No. So it wasn't a
Or was that just a part of it?
It was a part of it. So the thing with Raiden, and I'll kind of chime in and kind of go off of Raiden's story real quick. You kind of get your first storyline wise. The Metal Gear Solid team gets their first look at him in 5 in his early ages. He was originally a child soldier who kind of tried to make his own name for himself. He was better in almost every way, akin to the other children, and he basically was found by Venom Snake, and he's like, yo, what the fuck? This dude's actually really talented. He just has a really bad attitude, and he has how do I say this? He's like the angsty teen of the entire
younger.
series, yet younger. Yeah.
No, he's the angsty teen in fucking Sons of Liberty too.
This is true. He's
an angsty cyborg ninja later. He's just angsty.
He's just angsty. And
he's worse when he's the fucking no. He's worse when he's a cyborg ninja. He's super angsty and disillusioned.
Yeah, it's only until after the events of Metal Gear Solid Revengeance that he actually matures.
Yeah, he's a problem. That's because he was raised in VR simulations. That's all he ever knew.
Yeah, he was raised and trained in VR simulations by, I believe it was Cypher. I'm sure you can.
Yeah, it was actually Cypher, but it was mainly, I believe, Major Zero. Actually, is the one who I think. I know that he gets codex calls from Major Zero, but the Major Zero he gets codex calls from is, I believe, a fake.
It is. It's an AI.
Yeah, it breaks at some point and tells him that everything he known is a lie, and that he's always ever known as VR simulations and something like that.
Yeah,
that's where you get that plot point.
He basically breaks the control of the AI. At the end of it was 2, right?
Yeah, no, 2.
Yeah, it was at the end of 2 when he fights Solidius.
I thought it was it's when he gets tortured.
Oh yeah, that's right. When you have the naked mode.
Yeah, he gets tortured. It's after he meets Pliskin, which is Solid Snake, disguised as a Navy SEAL, pretending to be who only knows anything about Marines, apparently. Because that's
well, he also says "Who dares wins" as well.
Isn't that fucking Army?
Yeah, I believe that's Army. But he does, if I'm not mistaken, he does say both Semper Fi and "Who dares wins." That's why Raiden was so fucking confused.
Well, it wasn't. SAS, Special Forces. Says
Yeah.
who dares wins.
Which makes
but,
sense considering he was trained by the boss.
Yeah, he was originally a Special Forces soldier. But yeah, he was trained as a Green Beret. Which section of the Green Berets? Green.
Thought Green Berets were special forces. Maybe I'm wrong.
They're
about
special
that.
forces, but what section of the military are they?
It's a great question, actually.
They're not Navy SEALs. They are the Army. They're Army Special Forces.
Yeah. All right. Well,
so that's probably where he got the Who Dares Wins. And was it Semper Fi?
Yeah, Semper Fi.
Which I believe is Marines. It means always faithful or always loyal. Marine Corps. Yep.
But either way, like you have like Raiden, who's like a parallel storyline that runs with the Metal Gear Solid series. Again, he gets his own spin-off game, which is Revengeance, which follows in the same timeline area as Solid Snake's timeline, especially during 4.
Yeah, it's basically around the 4 period. So, the one thing that always throws me off that makes it really hard to figure out what time you're in is that like the whole Metal Gear series. Think of if ICBMs were like World War One. Like that's when we invented them instead of World War II.
Yeah.
That's the best way to describe how advanced the technology is. It's a good like 30, 40 years advanced. Like in Cold War, we have fucking walking tanks and stealth camo and fucking like advanced shit that's just like.
Well, it also coincides with the fact that during Metal Gear Solid's timeline, they're like the all the powers that be the Axis and the Allies were so like hellbent on killing each other that it got to a point where they're like, if we do anything, we're gonna blow each other up. First off, and then second off, someone somehow developed AI technology and fucking nuclear technology during this time period. And
yeah, that was the big thing.
And to add that
AI
all together,
and nuclear technology was developed way earlier than it was in our timeline.
Yeah, and not only that, the way I see it is during like the Cold War and our timeline was when we like really like hammered down on research and development. Their research and development never stopped.
Yeah, they have. See, also for them, there's the whole philosopher's legacy. Like, the best way to describe it is if we put all the money that we put into like helping people, and instead put it all into war.
Yep.
Which we kind of already do, but like think if the tech we have like. This is another thing. They never developed things like spy planes and stuff like that like we did. They weren't concerned about like that kind of stuff. They were more concerned about like how can I kill the most people.
Yeah, they develop like anonymous like drones like really early on.
Yeah.
Like they had drone tech like before we like really started getting into like tanks.
Well, they had the first Metal Gear was around like the 30s or the 40s, like 1930 or 40.
Yeah. Like we
and
were
had,
just
like,
really
fully
starting
autonomous AI with tanks.
Hell, fucking during what is it? Oh, you have to also remember, Metal Gear Rex, like the first game, is like the latter half of the story. Like it's like way the fuck up there.
Yeah. But yeah, Sully said Psychomantis PTSD.
Yeah, Psychomantis PTSD. But like, if you think about it this way, if we start like at the beginning of the timeline, which is, I would technically believe that would be what, Peace Walker?
No, the very first beginning of the timeline is Snake Eater.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It's
Snake
Snake
Eater
Eater.
is the first game in the timeline, and then the next one is Peace Walker, and then this is Peace Walker. See, I don't know which of the two, because there's two Peace Walkers in my head. There's late game Peace. There's like 2020s, 2030s Peace Walker, and there's like 1940s Peace Walker. Which I don't know what the I don't know. Hold on. I'm gonna look this up. Metal Gear Solid 4. Okay, so there's Peace Walker, and then there's Guns of the Patriots. Guns of the Patriots is the one that's all the way in the future. Peace Walker's the one's in the past. That's what I'm mistaking.
Yeah,
I believe Peace Walker was on earlier. Vita.
Yeah, it was PSP and Vita.
So Peace Walker is pre Phantom Pain. It's the one right before Phantom Pain.
Yeah. Because that's when MSF existed.
Yeah, this is which is Soldiers Without Borders. It goes Snake Eater, Guns of the Patriots, Phantom Pain, some fucking like the very early top down ones that weren't even like Metal Gear Solid 1. Metal Gear Solid 1, Sons of Liberty, Revengeance, and then Guns of the Patriots.
Yep.
So they jumped all over the timeline as they created these games. But the like basic story is there was a bunch of people that got together and pooled a lot of money to have like a bunch of money for like a war, some kind of war thing. They want to do war and make money off of it.
I feel like the Cold War started it, right?
No. This is before Cold War. This is This is like just before the Cold War. This is after the First World War. This is what it was. The First World War there was a group called the Philosophers. They started a fund called the Philosopher's Legacy to prevent another world war. That was the goal of the Philosophers. They were a good group. They were supposed to make sure that no more wars broke out with this money.
Yeah, this is basically like Cuban Missile Crisis. It's like right before the Cold War. It's basically Cuban Missile Crisis.
No, this is earlier than that. This is
really?
After the First World. This is after the First World War.
Wow.
This is really early. Like 1920, 1925. The Philosophers were formed. This is before any of the Metal Gears started. About 10 to 20 years later, most of the Philosophers have died. So most of the original members of the Philosophers died, excluding excluding a few members, including some of the members you meet in Snake Eater, like Colonel Volgin. However, the problem with them is that the remaining Philosophers were corrupted and turned to basically the opposite of the original goal, which is to use the war economy to make money.
Yep.
They wanted power. Insert Snake Eater. Snake Eater is trying to go and retrieve the Philosopher's Legacy to prevent this.
And they also had to end up using Boss as a scapegoat for the Americans. She basically stole the portable nuke launcher to basically be the scapegoat so the Philosopher's Legacy can be taken.
Well, what happened was originally Snake goes in to actually retrieve the Philosopher's Legacy. That's his goal.
Mm-hmm.
However, midway through, after handing off the portable nuke to Volgin, he fires it, which wasn't part of the plan. Now there is a American-made nuke launched on foreign soil and past the Iron Curtain, and that would look very bad. So they had to basically pin that on Big Boss, not Big Boss, the boss, to basically cover their tracks and say it was a rogue element that did it. It was not us. And not only was it a rogue element, but we dealt with them. We killed them. And that they used Big Boss Snake to do that. He at the very end he kills
He kills the boss.
he kills the boss and then is granted the title of Big Boss. However, because Big Boss was used in such a way, he becomes disillusioned with the whole government because they use basically he's disillusioned with the idea of them using soldiers, basically taking soldiers, using them up and throwing them back out. And he didn't like that, so he left, and along with him, two of the people from that were his handler and his medic handler during Snake Year, which was paramedic and Major Zero, along with I want to say his technical support, which was Siggins, and Eva, the Chinese spy, and Ocelot, the double, triple, quadruple, 130 time agent, double agent, fucking traitor, decided to team up and form a new group called the Patriots. The Patriots were formed with the sole intention of, well, it was two intentions. One was to recreate the goal of the philosophers, the original goal, which was a world without war. And the second goal was to fulfill the big boss's wish, or the boss's wish, which was the same as the philosophers, which was they didn't want soldiers to be used like that anymore, like she was used. And that is like the whole goal of the entire Metal Gear series. Like the rest of the Metal Gear series is basically to that end. Although you kind of, it becomes like a Darkest Before Dawn thing where it gets worse and worse before it gets any better.
Yup.
Like building a nuke on your private military base out in the middle of the oil,
Yeah, out in the middle of a fucking multi-complex oil rig.
Yeah, by the way, we have a fucking nuke. Sorry. And then
the idea of nuclear deterrence comes into play.
That is Peace Walker.
Yep.
Where in Peace Walker, basically Big Boss. Okay, during that time between Peace Walker and then, Big Boss leaves the Patriots. He leaves it with Ocelot and also encounters Miller at that time.
Yeah, Lieutenant
and they become
Miller.
friends. Yep. And they become like a group. And Eva leaves as well, but she leaves on her own. She doesn't leave with the rest of them, but she does leave because that is when the project it's the Terrible Infants. It's French for the Terrible Infants. I can't remember the actual name, but it's basically where they cloned Big Boss's DNA using Eva as a surrogate mother, and she gives birth to two twins, Solid Snake and Liquid Snake. And that's how those two are formed. They're clones of the Big Boss. Snake then has the whole Ground Zero incident where he fakes his own death, switches places with the medic. The medic becomes Venom Snake, who is also referred to as Big Boss, and inherits the title of Big Boss. Because the actual Big Boss is like, I'm going into hiding, I'm no longer a Big Boss. You're Big Boss now.
Yeah, he not only hands off the title, but he hands off his memories too. Like little pieces of his memories. Like this is now you. You're not just being my body double. You are becoming me because I can no longer fill this role.
Yeah, and he leaves. Later on in one of the very first games, Solid Snake goes and he kills Venom Snake, and he kills the Big Boss. However, the Big Boss fakes his death again because fuck you. And that's a whole convoluted thing that I don't really know much about, but basically he fakes his own death as well. That's the end of Venom Snake. because Venom Snake becomes a villain. He basically uses his private military force to create nukes, and then plans to use those nukes to launch a new war.
Yep.
And Solid Snake and Big Boss basically acts as Solid Snake's coach as he guides him through, because he comes out of retirement for this, guides him through killing the other Big Boss, Venom Snake, and then it's revealed that that wasn't, the real Big Boss. Then he fights the Big Boss, which I don't actually know why he does that. I don't remember. But he fakes his own death there as well. And Solid Snake then goes on to, I believe, Solid Snake also becomes disillusioned with the group, but he forms his own separate unit with Otacon. He and Otacon specifically, just like, it's basically just those two start going around.
It's a two-man team.
Yeah, they start going around and form a group that basically goes around and
they essentially go around with the intention of stopping the war economy.
Yeah, but their way of doing it is by information. So they start taking pictures and exposing all the Metal Gears as they're there. They get framed for the sinking of the tanker in Sons of Liberty. And so they also help in Sons of Liberty by helping out Raiden, which is where Raiden's first introduced. Which is funny. Raiden's introduced in like game 2.
Yeah.
And he doesn't get his own game until like 4, which is like 7, 8 years later.
Yep.
My
boy Raiden got done dirty.
Basically. Man, I that's one thing I do miss from Peace Walker is fucking taking out AI cores and like fighting actual Metal Gear.
Like the thing that I liked from Peace Walker, it was actual boss fights. Like even fighting the tanks and stuff, those were like full on boss fights.
Yeah. But yeah, and then after the that incident, there's a bunch of shit that goes on after that that's like, it gets really convoluted at that point. And basically by the end of it, there's nanomachines, AI, and they all get destroyed.
Nanomachines, son.
I don't really understand the like latter half. Like past the Sons of Liberty, like it all gets very confusing, and it's kind of hard to follow.
So to my understanding is after Sons of Liberty, what essentially ends up happening is Solid Snake, Raiden, Otacon, those three pretty much make their own fighting cell, and their whole goal is to say, fuck it, we're destroying the war economy. That's happening.
Well, so Raiden actually goes back to the U.S. government. He doesn't go with Snake. That was a big thing in Sons of Liberty, is like Snake was like, well, I'm going to just disappear, forget you ever saw me, pretend you don't know me. That way I don't put you in any more danger. And then like he becomes a cyborg ninja.
A badass cyborg ninja at that.
A breakdancing cyborg ninja.
Yeah.
That's legit what he becomes. That's very accurate.
Can I also mention the fact that he can literally like cut people apart by putting the fucking sword he uses on his fucking feet?
Yeah, no, he does that. It's crazy.
Breakdancing battle ninja with blades. Also cyborg. But yeah, like the whole like Metal Gear Solid like timeline is crazy and convoluted, and I love it.
Cause not as bad as Cold War, or not Cold War. Sorry,
Call of Duty Zombies.
Call of Duty Zombies. The Aether storyline, the Dark Aether just started, but the original Aether storyline, it's like, oh my god, I need like this like put out on a whiteboard. You need to write all the timelines out and where they're intersecting and the whole fucking thing. Like I need a graphic for this. It's so fucking convoluted. But that involves multiverses and time travel and like 13 different selves and like
Yeah,
13 Monkeys.
someone decided to take a whole case known as the can of worms, open that case up, and just starting opening each can of worms. Just like, all right, let's open that one. Let's open that one. Let's open that one. Let's open that one.
No, it's just like, how can we make this as hard to follow and as confusing as possible?
The answer to that question, yes.
Think about having to play through the games and figure this out.
Yeah.
You know, one thing I do miss though from the original Black Ops Zombies, fourth wall breaking.
Yeah, I
remember
miss
that?
Yeah, I remember like the characters actually talking to the player, like, "Hey, player, put down the chips and get me some ammo."
It was almost 100% just Dempsey. I think Takio would talk to the players sometimes, but Dempsey mostly talked to the players. He'd be like, he is basically always like, "I'm out of ammo." It's like, I can't really kill many zombies without any ammo. Yeah, I'm talking to you, player.
Yeah, and Nikolai did it a couple times. I don't think Richtofen really did it at all.
No, I think Richtofen has like one fourth wall break voice line. I think Takio has like 2. Nikolai has, I think, 3 or 4, and then Dempsey has like 10.
Yeah, Dempsey has like almost all of his voice lines, just like, "I'm talking to you, player." But
yeah, and there's also one where he references something that hasn't been invented yet. I forget, I can't remember what it was. Excuse me. He has a voice line where he's like, I think it's like a song or something that he like starts humming. And he's like, "Wait, no, that hasn't been invented yet."
True, because of their timeline.
Yeah, he's like, I shouldn't know about that in this timeline.
But yeah, I loved like the older games, and well, Metal Gear Solid specifically, because I grew up with that. That's really what kind of kicked off my like love for gaming, not just as like a general like means of entertainment, but like an actual art. Like the amount of time and dedication it takes to make these is crazy.
I don't know. I always just liked stealth games. I can't remember what like really got me into like gaming. I just grew up with gaming. It's one of those things.
I kind of wish
But
I
I
grew up
think
with like Splinter Cell though. Apparently Splinter Cell like good back then.
I've played a bit of Splinter Cell. It's awesome. I played, I think, Splinter Cell Blacklist. I played a bit of that. It's
Okay.
like think if Snake was a ninja, that's Splinter Cell.
Fair. And always wore fucking night vision goggles.
No. If Snake was a ninja and had even more advanced tech.
Fair.
It's like all the advanced tech, but it's just in smaller packages.
Yeah, like shootable fucking like cameras that he can pop on the walls.
Man, I wonder how. Last time we had a stream about Metal Gear Solid, I'm gonna look up how much Splinter Cell is.
But
so I always loved it was Blacklist was the one that I played, I believe.
But yeah, like I grew up with like a bunch of like the like stealth games as well. Like the older like I even grew up like the older Ghost Recons as well. Like I love Ghost Recon, but like I haven't had another Ghost Recon that I've liked in recent times. Like I hope it like they do something to make it better. Just haven't seen one that I've liked.
Fuck it, I just bought a Splinter Cell.
Like the last one I played to memory is Ghost Recon Future Soldier. That one was alright.
I never played any Ghost Recons. I don't know anything about them actually.
So Ghost Recon, in the simplest of terms, is if the U.S. military budget was bottlenecked. Infinite. No, not just infinite. It was bottlenecked into one goal: tech. I'm not even kidding. Like real real shit. You got drones, you got bullets that can curve that are remote controlled. You have the ability to have fucking gun, aerial gun drones. You had fucking active camo. You had fucking near limitless customizability of your weapons. Like, it was everywhere.
You know, my first ever. That's what it was. See, when I was a kid, when it came to games, I was always like, even now, I've always been one of those people like, remember when I played Terraria and like every boss I wanted you to come help me with?
Yeah.
I've always been like, I've always had like zero confidence in my skills in games. I've always been very nervous about stuff and very like hesitant. And was never really good at them, but I always liked playing them. So I always play a bunch, but when I got Metal Gear, it was one of the first games that was like, it's a slow game. I can go at a slow pace, and being hesitant is actually a positive. It's a good thing for the game because you're supposed to slowly work through the opposition, slowly work through the base, slowly, and it's a very like time consuming. And it was one of those things that I always enjoyed being. And it was one of the few things that I felt confident in doing. Like I think there was only one part in both the Metal Gears, and that was Snake Eater. Both the Metal Gears that I played, which was Sons of Liberty and Snake Eater, when I was a kid, and that was Snake Eater, and that was fighting the end. That was the only thing I ever cheesed.
Yeah,
I just let him die.
But yeah,
from old age.
we're coming up on time. Got about an hour through it.
You keep saying that, but you gotta always remember that you take 15 minutes of doing nothing.
I started early, so yes, we've been going at this for 45 minutes. That's like why I said we're coming up on time. We have 15 minutes left.
I'm gonna.
You're like, you keep saying this is like I'm aware. You just don't understand what's coming out.
You
of my
keep
mouth.
You keep saying some dumb shit, and it's kind of getting on my nerves.
But I'm gonna chime in real quick. About cardboard box technology.
Box technology. I knew you were gonna say that. I knew you were gonna say that.
Like, we're coming in on time. I want to get the bullshit that's been on our brains this entire time out there. So
we were talking about this yesterday.
Yesterday we were talking about how in Metal Gear Solid series, in all of them, cardboard box technology was an actual thing. It
wasn't. Not only is it an actual thing, it's extremely effective.
It's surprisingly effective. Like, again, Peace Walker, like, put it in, like, eloquent terms. Like, I can make a cardboard box that two people can sit in, drive, and have a gunner, and yes, I mean gunner, so I can load different kinds of shells and essentially have a box tank.
Wait, was this Guns of Patriots or Peace Walker?
Peace Walker.
Peace Walker's the early one, Guns of Patriots is the latter one.
Yeah, like I said, you can actually have a fucking tank made of cardboard.
Why can't I have one of those? Peace Walker is before Phantom Pain. Where's my tank? Where's my cardboard box battle tank? I mean, I have wormhole technology, but where's my cardboard box battle tank?
Also, I want to point something else out. Fucking those cardboard boxes were fucking, like, bulletproof. Like, they had a durability on them, but they were essentially bulletproof. And it was hilarious.
And that one. And most of the other ones you could get shot through the cardboard box. Because it was just a cardboard box.
But they're the most powerful thing to surpass Metal Gear.
A weapon to surpass Metal Gear. Cardboard box boxes? Technology? Cardboard boxes. I wish they like fucking someone made an abridged version of all the fucking like Metal Gear lines, and that was one of them where it was just like have a weapon to surpass Metal Gear. It's just cardboard boxes. But, I know. I wonder if we could like send a message to the fucking the actor who plays Snake or who voices Snake and ask him to do that line.
That would be hilarious. Like cardboard box technology.
Advanced cardboard box mechs.
Yeah, we that's another thing I brought up is like, what if like the next Metal Gear, if it was ever another one, it was just a fucking Metal Gear made out of cardboard boxes. It'd be the most indestructible thing in existence, and it was virtually invisible. It could launch nukes.
It had an active camo that made it look like a pile of cardboard boxes.
No, it's a transformer. It just transforms into cardboard boxes.
Oh my god. Worth it.
Worth.
The U.S. government would be like, I want all of our R&D research and money into that one technology. I want it now.
Shut up
Oil?
and take my money.
That shit's mine.
Again, shut up and take my money.
I want a president that just is just a meme lord. Can we get one of those?
he knows all the memes.
You know, in 30 years from now, that's what it's gonna be like. Maybe
honestly, with like the generation like before us, with all like the Zoomers is the best way to call them. Fuck Zoomers.
No, we're the Zoomers. That's our generation.
I mean, well, I'm 1997, so I'm a little like before. I don't quite hit Zoomers.
Okay, I'm a Zoomer and you're a cunt. Continue.
As I said, basically your generation and a little further up, like, they're gonna be the ones who are gonna have like all the memes literally everywhere. It's already happening.
I think there's going to be a point where so many people just don't give a crap about like politics that it just might die.
Well,
like politics is already dying as like a thing.
Like most people are kind of over it.
Also, how am I getting like 50 megabytes per second peak download all of a sudden?
I don't know. Asking the wrong
like
person,
that happened.
Man.
That happened last stream. Like somehow I got like 50 megabytes. I was like, I think I made a comment of it in the middle of the stream. I was like, why do I have so much internet all of a sudden?
So much room for activities.
I could like do things with this, like stream or something.
Oh my
Maybe a little stream.
Well, I brought this up to you before. It's predominantly your motherboard. Your motherboard is the bottleneck. Because I get like
it's not about the motherboard. It's the issue of like like even with because I switched to hardline Cat 6 cable, but even with that, I was only getting like max like 10 megabytes a second, if that. And then just recently, all of a sudden, my downloads are like 50 megabytes per second. Like that's a very recent thing. It has nothing to do with my my motherboard. It's just something that suddenly happened. All of a sudden, I'm getting really good downloads, and then once in a while, the internet just cuts out because screw you.
Yeah, I might want to like call like Comcast at some point and talk to someone about our ISP and see what's going on with that.
I ain't gonna tell you nothing.
I can at least ask and let them tell me, hey, we don't know what's going on, and like, okay, I guess I'm fucked, man. Better than me sitting here twiddling on my fingers like I'm worried. I'm waiting for my internet to cut out, and I don't know why, but it's gonna go.
It always cuts out when I least want it to.
I know. Like the worst opportune moment, it just goes, bye.
It's always when we're playing with friends, it just cuts out. It's like, wow, thanks.
It comes back though. Like
the way I fix it.
Bless you.
Thank you. The way I fix it is I just reach down and unplug my cord and plug it back in.
Yeah.
Which I always thought was like as growing up, I always thought it was weird when I saw the little like internet disconnected sign where it was like a sign of you unplugging the cord and putting it back in. I always thought that was weird because I never had Ethernet. I always had Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
And so like I was like, why does it show you that symbol? And then like I knew what Ethernet was, and I was like, still, why how would that help? And then now I understand that's how you fix Ethernet issues, is you just unplug it and plug it back in and it fixes it.
Yep.
It's literally the Ethernet equivalent of fucking turn it off and turn it back on again. or for all those oldies who actually got to be able to do it, pull the cartridge out and blow in it and then put it back. For anyone that actually understands that.
The thing is I remember that because the place we lived with I think a couple of mom's friends for a while, and his her son had a fucking N64, and we play on it all the fucking time and be like, just take the cartridges out, blow on it, and plug it back in, you should be good.
I don't remember any of that. I never played on it because they didn't let me play. And you didn't let me play, jerk.
Hey, I was legit jerk back then. I will.
You were a complete asshole. I just wanted to hang out with my brother. That's all.
I know. I'm sorry.
But where I remember it from was the Game Boy Advance. I'd pull the cartridge.
Oh yeah, the fucking Game Boy.
Remember?
Yeah,
Dad had a Game Boy.
I do remember that.
I miss those.
Hell, I remember when I had a GameCube, of all things, and I thought that was a shit.
Dude, I love the GameCube's turn on thing.
Boom. Just bass.
I love all the memes. Boom. I love all the memes that fucking popped off of that fucking
like someone making like music with it and shit.
Or the one where it just keeps going. Or like right before it slams down, it just starts again. It's like, stop! I want the
quit blue balling me. Give me the slam. Stop it!
Context. Take that out of the context.
Yes, take it out of the context. Go for it.
Somebody clip that and send it to me.
Yeah, like we grew up with like a weird time and just gaming in general. Like if you really think about it,
like in between point though, weren't we?
Yeah, we grew up on the cusp of when gaming actually became like a serious thing. Like it's like right before esports was really a thing. It was right before competitive gaming was really a thing. Gaming was it was kind of a joke in the public's eyes.
That too, but also like think about like just because I always grew up with the PlayStation systems. Think about how the PlayStation evolved from what I like originally played on, which was the PS2, to like just from the PS2 to the PS3, the PS3 to the PS4. Like the PS3 was like the cusp of the PlayStation like gaming culture. Yeah. For the Xbox was the Xbox 360 was it's like the Xbox got it down a lot quicker.
God, I remember when I went to my cousin's house and playing on their Xbox all the time for like an entire fucking summer. I remember that. Like I would go. I'd be like, all right, school's over, right? Yeah. Hey, mom, what? Can I go to my cousin's house? I'm like, sure. Are you gonna eventually come back? And I literally told her eventually.
One of these days.
I literally left.
And he never came back.
I never fucking came back. And it wasn't until like a week before school started beginning and she would have to come and pick me up. I was like, can I have my son back?
No.
And like my cousins would fight. It's like one more day. It's like, no, I gotta go. Mom says I gotta go. And then it would restart. I'd go through the school year, come back, and be like, all right, I'm going off with my cousins again later. I'll see you in like 2 or 3 months.
I wish I had something like that. My summers were always super boring because it was basically the summer break would happen and then just I didn't talk to anybody. I stayed inside and just watched YouTube and played video games. Like I didn't go anywhere, didn't talk to anybody because no one fucking messaged me. Like it was weird. Like this is why I always was like whenever you say like, "Oh, you were really popular, weren't you?" I was like, "No one fucking talked to me during the summer." Like that's my definition of popular. Is like, do people want to hang out with you when they don't have to? No, then you're not popular.
That's fair.
Like no one called me, no one texted me, no one messaged me, no one even fucking like said hi. Like it was just like I was alone every single summer until like, oh god, like junior year, junior or sophomore year. Well, it was sophomore year for sure because I started hanging out with my best friend at the time, and then junior year I started like every single like couple of days, sometimes every weekend during school time. Sometimes after school, I had a bunch of friends that I rolled with that would come and knock on my window because I lived on the first floor apartment complex. So it was really close to their place. They'd walk there and they'd knock on my window, and I'd come out and be like, "What's up?" And they'd be like, "You want to come hang?" Well, I rolled with the bad kids for a while, and that was the bad kids. And they come by and knock on my window and be like, "I can entice you with the drugs. We
And the
have cigarettes."
things and the stuff and the yeah. And you
I
have
did a
me
lot of
who's like,
drugs.
I wasn't that popular in high school or middle. Well, I was kind of popular in middle school. I made kind of a name for myself. That was until I moved again. But I had like a group that I hang out with all the time, and like, all right, we're gonna go to his place and go do X, Y, and Z. And then high school rolled around. I was like, well, fuck, I don't know anybody again. I kind of got a group of friends again, and one in particular was Kellen. Shout out to him real quick. He kind of opened me up to more things, and he actually really like reinforced like my love for gaming, like because that's what we did all the time. We'd hang out at his place, play some video games, just shoot the shit, and he kind of be like, "Yo, you're really good at this. You should probably do something." Yeah, I'll get around to it. And then I really started to kind of take that idea a lot more seriously. Hence why I'm a streamer today. Like I give him props. He kind of convinced me. He's like, "Yo, you should try doing streaming. Try doing this and that." Like, sure, I'll give it a shot. But yeah, that's we had two very different introductions in the gaming, like as a whole.
I mean, I think we both had the same. No, I think you got introduced to gaming a lot later than I did. Because when I was a kid, back at like when everyone lived together still, and there wasn't a divorce, um, that was when I got my PS2, and that's the first time I had games. And I always wanted
Yeah,
you to come play with me, but you just never hung out with me. You basically had to have a gun to your head to come play with me.
yeah. I didn't want back then. I didn't want to hang out with anybody. I was just like, just leave me the fuck alone.
But yeah, and then I always played games growing up, but I was never like it was never like it was never a thing for me. Like even now, like besides having the computer that I just recently got, like I was always more of like a YouTube person. Like I just watch YouTube all the time.
Yeah,
I never really gamed.
you're starting to find like your actual likes and dislikes in the gaming. Like you're actually getting the opportunity to be like, all right, I like this, I don't like this, or
Well,
hey,
it's more that I finally have the chance to actually play things because
yeah,
I like unlike you to some degree, I grew up not being able to buy any games. I couldn't afford games. So if I wanted to play something, I either had to play free games, had to pirate them, or had to like beg someone to play their console or something.
yeah,
And that was the only time I ever got to really play games. And so I was more watching like let's plays, and so I never and it's a different experience playing a game versus watching a let's play of it. It's a lot different.
yeah,
There are games that like I really like watching, but after I was like, "Oh, I love this game. It's really cool." Them playing it looks really fun. And then I went and got it and was like, "I don't like this game."
yeah. There, I kind of had that too. There, even today, there's some games like I will never play that game myself. Like Dead by Daylight is a good example. I will never like willingly play Dead by Daylight, but I like watching it. It's interesting to watch.
Cool. I'm buying a Dead by Daylight. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh God, I have to now play
No, I
that
don't. I don't
drunk.
like. I don't like. I don't like horror games. I don't watch or play horror games. I'm a big pussy. It's
It's not. It's not even that much of a horror game. It's like advanced hide and seek, really. Like, it's not that.
There's jump scares in it. There's kind of jump scares in it. Okay.
Wuss.
Yeah, I'm a wuss, especially when it comes to horror. Like even light horror, I'm like I like curl up into a ball and just won't play.
Like I wanna go home now. Wait, I'm already home. Fuck.
Yeah, I try playing horror games and like after like a little bit of playing it, I just lock up and just can't play it. The only horror game I was ever able to actually just straight up play was Alien Isolation, and that was only because my friend made me play it because I told him about that, and somehow like my like defense mechanism triggered, and I just kept making fun of the game and laughing the whole time, and so I couldn't take it seriously, and so it didn't scare me.
I will boop the snoot with a gun. Go away.
No, it was one of those things where like, see the issue with Alien Isolation for me when I was playing it is like the beginning is super fucking buggy.
Oh yeah.
And B, it's just a big lead up. Like it's trying to like add this atmosphere, but because of all the bugs and the fact that I'm not actually in any danger in the beginning, it makes it really easy to get into the mood of just making fun of it the whole time until you get to the point where it actually gets scary. And I never got to that point because my friend was like, "We're done." It's like I wanted to see you get scared. You're not getting scared. You're laughing at the game. You lied to me. I'm like, I'm not lying. This is just funny.
But yeah, we are now actually out of time today. So you have any ending thoughts, things you wanna tell the audience, or any closing comments?
Yeah. Don't blue balls me. Just let me have the slam.
Yes, do not blue ball me. Let me have this slam. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today's episode of Cocktails and Curiosities. If you enjoyed today's podcast, please let us know. I'm your host Axel, my co-host Knox. We do this every Sunday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Of course, this will be going live up on my channels, both for Twitch and YouTube. And actually, last week's podcast will be going up on Dobus Productions probably today.
Today or tomorrow. Probably tomorrow. From now, once I have to actually set it up, and I don't feel like doing that today, so it's going to be tomorrow. I want to go play Splinter Cell because I just downloaded it.
That's fair.
But once it's set up, I'll be posting the previous week's episode every Sunday, as well, right before the stream, so that it's on there as well.
Yeah. But like I said, if you enjoyed today's stream, feel free to let us know. Put a comment down below, or hell, come poke me on my Twitter at AxelDreamSaber, or come hang out on my streams. I try to go live every day at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time and run to about 5 o'clock. Come say hello. And
if anyone's ever interested in me playing stealth games and streaming them, hit me up. Leave a comment. Oh yeah, leave comments. I read all the comments.
Yeah, so do I. Leave comments on the podcasts and the videos. Like we literally sit there and read through them.
Yeah, if there's anything you'd like to see or want us to discuss, we'll definitely, Axel more reads them than I do, but I definitely will like pop in like a couple days later after it's been posted and read it.
Yeah, like I said, I usually read all the comments whenever they're thrown up. I'd like to go through and see what people have thoughts on about the streams and the podcasts and all that lovely stuff. But as I said, I have comments are open. My Twitter is fair game. Feel free to let me know what you guys think. But that's gonna be it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you guys tomorrow. So I will be streaming some more BDO, and we will see Knox next week.
Yep. Unless I decide to make something in between then and now and then. That's actually the way it goes. But probably not. So who cares?